What makes a work boot comfortable, and how do we choose the most comfortable work boots? So generally when we're thinking about foot comfort, any excessive motions, so usually the excessive motion we're talking about is rolling in or pronation, will overload the foot. So when a foot pronates, it rolls towards the inside. What happens when the foot pronates? All the joints of the midfoot unlock and the plantar fascia is strained, and the active components of the foot, such as the muscles, rather than have all the bones rest in this really nice little igloo sort of arch sort of pattern here, they unlock, and all the active components of the foot, like the muscles, need to grab the foot and pull it back into alignment to make it an effective lever for propulsion. So these excessive movements, and usually pronation, will cause the active and also the passive structures, so the muscles and all the ligaments and the bones and the joints, to become a little bit more overworked. Because when we're walking, what happens is, if the foot strikes the ground and it rolls in, and the joints open up and the little ligament under here becomes strained, this strains that ligament. But the problem is, when we're walking, because we do so many steps in a day, most people try and aim for about 10,000 steps in the day, the strain, actually, the repetitive strain overloads the ligament and beyond its ability to repair, and it does this with the muscles and the ligaments and the joints as well, and then we'll get some inflammation and some pain. So generally this overworking causes the uncomfortable feeling in your feet. It can be burning, it can be pain in specific locations. So some of the specific locations we get are in the heel, in the plantar fascia, on the inside of the foot here, right just below the ankle. Some people get achy big toe joints and bunions and that sort of thing. And they're usually all repetitive strain injuries. So the features we look for in a work boot are the features to cut down on these excessive motions, so the foot can work less and it feels more rested. And of course, when it's more rested, it doesn't ache. So the features we look for, and we're looking at an Ergonomics Elements boot here. This is the Helium. The first thing we look for is, where does it bend? So we don't want to bend where the foot doesn't bend. So we want to encourage the foot to bend through the big toe, where the big toe bends. We don't want it to twist too much. So if it twists too much, it'll encourage the foot to roll in, and we don't want that, because that excessive motion will cause more aches and pains in the feet. We want there to be a solid but shock absorbing midsole. So this section through here, if we actually push on it, that midsole feels more like a running shoe midsole. And of course we've got the outsole here, that will be much, much firmer. But the midsole needs to be solid yet shock absorbing. And what this does is, when our foot strikes the ground, it spreads the peak force, the force that goes back up from the ground up through the heel. It spreads this out over a longer period, so the peak force will be lower. So it just takes some of the strain out of the foot and the heel. We want it to be fastenable to the foot. So in this particular boot, we've got the laces, so we can adjust it to the foot. And what that does, it pulls the upper of the boot up into the inside of the arch and helps to support the arch. And we've also got the heavy duty zip here to help to make it easier to get the boot on and off. The other things we look for to make a very, very comfortable, or the most comfortable boots, are an arch support cushioned insole. So if you have a look at this one here, this one has got a really high, long medial arch support. So the most common excessive motion that people that causes foot pain is overpronation. So this medial arch support helps to control overpronation. It's also got cushioning positions in the heel and forefoot. You can see this one here is our anti-static version of the Ergonomics Ultra Soft, so that will help to cushion the forefoot as well. So we really need to cushion the foot, because when we cushion the foot, it takes the pressure away from the bony prominences under the foot. So if we have a look at what a foot looks like underneath, and if you can see here, we've got these little bones, and you can see these stick out really quite a bit. So if we can cushion up those areas, it just means there's less pressure going through these little tiny joints in the forefoot, and they're less likely to get achy and painful. So supporting and cushioning the foot with an insole is fantastic, and we've got the shank that shuts down all the motions that we don't want to encourage, such as pronation or bending right through the middle of the foot. So if you get apply these tests to the current work boots you're wearing, and if you're getting any foot aches and pains, this might be the reason. There's also other reasons that you can cause foot aches and pains, such as tight muscles and you can get little tumours and cysts and things in your feet. But largely, most of the pains that we suffer in our feet are from biomechanical or mechanical problems, and usually that is when the foot rolls in too far. And that's why so many foot treatments are aimed at treating overpronation, and we do this with a good shoe with the features we just outlined and a supportive soft insole and some gentle calf stretching. Hope this has been helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment and subscribe. It's really simple to do and it really does help out our channel. If you need more information on the topics discussed, you can find some links in the description where they'll take you to our website where we can discuss this in a little more detail. If you have a specific question that you'd like answered, please comment in the comment section below and we'll do our best to make a video to address your question. Thank you all for watching and we'll see you next time.